Ladies and gentlemen, a cold, crisp, and refreshing air mass has quietly swept across the entire country throughout this weekend. The morning began with a chill in the mist. The wind was whispering through rows of bare trees and a silvery gray sky stretching over the northern hills. Everyone can feel it clearly. The season is changing, the air is shifting, and nature seems to softly whisper, "Winter is near." Yet, while many are still wrapped up in their early winter coats, all eyes, all radars, all weather stations have turned toward the northwest. For there, a new weather system is taking shape, a thick, moist, and heavy bank of clouds gathering, preparing to surge southeastward. Within the next 24 hours, it will sweep across the entire country, from the highlands of Scotland to the low plains of England. This morning, the air still holds a chilly edge, sometimes bitterly cold when sudden gusts strike. In the central and eastern parts of England, the sun still manages to peek through a clear sky, casting faint rays of light onto rooftops covered in dew. But only a few hours later, dense clouds from Northern Ireland and Scotland begin to roll in, like a gray blanket spreading across the heavens. The first showers begin to fall along the borders, and hour by hour, they slowly but steadily drift southeastward. In the higher regions of Scotland, where the air is colder than ever, light snow has appeared. Tiny, pure white flakes swirling in the cold wind, settling on rooftops and mountain slopes. A scene both peaceful and magical, and in truth, not unusual for this late October period. As the afternoon passes, the rain moves into Wales and the southwest of England. The roads glisten with moisture. Carpets of fallen leaves reflect the dim light of the setting sun. In southeast England, where many hope for a dry afternoon, the gray clouds gradually spread. By late afternoon, light drizzles begin to fall, just enough to dampen coats and make people raise their collars and quicken their steps along the pavement. Temperatures remain largely unchanged from Saturday, ranging between 8 and 12 degrees Celsius. The biting chill lingers everywhere, especially as the northwesterly wind refuses to calm. The wind blows strongly, carrying dampness, making the air outside feel even colder. In the evening, in Northern Ireland and Western Scotland, fortunately, the sky may open briefly to reveal a few final rays of sunshine before the sun fully sinks beyond the horizon. Those faint beams reflect across still lakes, creating a rare moment of tranquility amid a day of wind and rain. Elsewhere, clouds cover the entire sky, and rain continues to spread southeastward. The wind remains strong, whistling through windows and rooftops, a reminder that the cold season has truly arrived. Through Sunday night, rain continues to spread across Wales and southwest England. Many areas will wake up to the sound of steady rain, mixed with the wind sweeping through quiet streets. Some regions in the north and east may see clearer skies, but overall, clouds dominate, the wind persists, and the night doesn't feel as sharply cold as usual. Tonight's temperatures range between 4 and 9 degrees Celsius, lowest in the northern highlands, though a few places in the southwest still hold double digits, around 10 to 11 degrees. This signals a cloudy, damp start to Monday morning. The new week begins with rain and strong gusts. Showers appear scattered, most frequent across the west and Wales. However, as the afternoon progresses, rainfall gradually eases, leaving behind patches of gray but calmer skies. In southwest Wales and western England, clouds and light showers will linger, while Northern Ireland may welcome another wave of rain toward the end of the day. Across different regions, there's a distinct boundary between the cold northern air and the milder southwestern flow. This contrast creates that half-winter, half-spring feeling many experience during this transitional season. In the southern and eastern regions, such as Cornwall, Devon, and London, temperatures are milder, around 14 to 15 degrees Celsius. The air carries a touch of Atlantic humidity, but feels warmer, softer, especially as the winds begin to shift toward the southwest. Farther north, in Aberdeen, temperatures remain around 8 to 9 degrees, yet there will be brief sunny intervals breaking through the clouds, faint golden beams lighting the ancient city, offering rare warmth amid the chill. As the sun sets, a new Atlantic airstream once again brings clouds and rain in from the west. The sky grows heavy and somber, a clear sign that a larger change is on its way. The overall picture for the coming week shows rather unsettled weather. We'll continue to see more rain, at times stronger winds, particularly along western coastal areas. However, the good news is that temperatures will gradually rise, especially across England and Wales. Meteorologists forecast that Atlantic air will keep pushing in, bringing slightly above average temperatures. By midweek, parts of the south could reach 15 to 16 degrees Celsius, a brief spell of comfort amid the gloom. This week, the weather across the United Kingdom feels like a complex symphony of nature, beginning with cold winds, interlaced with rain and snow, then closing with a tender hint of warmth from the west. Each region, each hour, paints its own mood. At times steady rain over quiet streets, at times a stray sunbeam at dusk, or simply the whistle of wind over barren hills. And that is the charm of this season, the moment of balance between autumn and winter, between chill and warmth, between dampness and clarity. A time when Britain wraps itself in a silvery gray cloak, making every passerby pause and smile softly. This is Britain, in the final days of October, where every gust of wind, every drop of rain, tells its own story. Dear viewers, we are witnessing a fascinating seasonal transition, as a stream of cold air from the north begins to move in, bringing with it the crisp breath of late autumn, signaling that the warm days are about to temporarily say goodbye. But don't be too quick to celebrate, because just a few days later, the temperature will gradually ease again, accompanied by a series of unstable weather patterns ahead. From late October to early November, the skies are expected to be far from calm. At present, the radar shows a dry, cold air mass pushing down from the north, particularly affecting northern Scotland, Northern Ireland, and parts of northwest England and Wales. Along the western coasts, you can easily feel gusts of wind whipping through, interspersed with quick passing showers, a typical pattern when cold oceanic air begins to move inland. In the highlands, especially across the Scottish Highlands, the first snowfalls of this autumn have already appeared. Though not heavy, they are a clear signal that winter is knocking on the door. Those who love the sight of light snowfall might find this delightful, but for farmers or long-distance travelers, this is a rather uncomfortable time. Slippery roads, reduced visibility, and temperatures dropping rapidly after sunset. Next Monday and Tuesday, forecast models show that the west-southwest winds will strengthen, bringing warm and humid air from the mid-Atlantic. As a result, temperatures will rise slightly, especially across southern areas, possibly reaching 10 to 12 degrees Celsius, while the north remains much colder, close to 0 degrees Celsius at night. By midweek, warmer air will spread more widely, with some places reaching 14 to 15 degrees Celsius on Tuesday and even 16 to 17 degrees by Thursday, particularly in the far south. Remember, this is already late October, early November, so these temperatures are considered quite mild and pleasant. However, that also means rain will become more frequent. The warm and humid air from the Atlantic will bring low clouds, showers, and fog, especially at night. Successive low-pressure systems forming offshore will pull in strong winds, rough seas, and heavy rainfall across western and northern parts of Europe. This is the typical late autumn weather pattern, and as subtropical winds begin to interact with the cold jet stream from the Arctic. Atmospheric maps show temperature deviations gradually shifting into orange tones, meaning mild air is taking over. From time to time, a few cold pulses in blue slip through, bringing brief chilly days, but overall, temperatures will stabilize around or slightly above average in early November. Looking at the rainfall chart across the North Atlantic, we can see a large band of rain stretching from the middle of the ocean all the way to northern Europe. This is the trace of strong westerly winds, carrying ocean moisture inland. When this warm, moist air meets the colder air masses in the north, it creates atmospheric disturbances. And that's why storms and heavy rains tend to appear back-to-back throughout November. Both the GFS and ECMWF models agree. From late October to early November, we are entering a highly unstable period. Low-pressure systems will follow one another. The west-southwest winds will continue to strengthen, and there's potential for bursts of high gusts and minor storms, though not yet strong enough to be officially named. According to the latest forecast around Halloween, a more compact low-pressure system could move into northwestern Europe. While not a major storm, it will be strong enough to bring intense winds, heavy rain, and even localized flooding in low-lying areas. Interestingly, around the same time, the polar vortex will begin to form, a clear signal that winter is slowly taking its place. Meteorologists predict that the strong temperature contrast between the poles and mid-latitudes will generate a highly active jet stream, making the weather more unpredictable than ever. Overall, in the next 4 to 5 days, the weather will remain cold and dry with nighttime frost. Then, as we move into the following week and into November, temperatures will return to near average levels, with many areas seeing light rain and milder, more humid conditions. Nevertheless, instability will remain high as low-pressure systems continue moving inland from the Atlantic. At this point, there are no signs of a truly major storm, but the potential for 1 or 2 notable wind events is entirely possible. In summary, what we are experiencing is the classic picture of a North Atlantic autumn. Bitter northern winds, sudden passing showers, morning mist, and mild days interwoven between bouts of unstable weather. A touch of harshness, a hint of romance. That's the beauty of this season. If you enjoyed this weather report, don't forget to click like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest weather changes. Prepare your coats, keep warm, and don't forget to look up at the sky. Because even on the stormiest days, nature always holds its own quiet beauty.